Welcome, everybody, to Getting a Bigger Gob On, the podcast that helps women be seen, heard, and absolutely unforgettable so that they can live a life they love and create a life they love. And I'm your hostess, Sharon Eden, the Wild Elder. So welcome to Episode 3. You don't have to be a social media queen, with the always graceful and unforgettable Chelsea Green, holistic hormone specialist. Chelsea is a homeopath and women's health coach, empowering women to rebalance their hormones naturally through individualized homeopathic remedies, nutrition, and lifestyle changes. And all I have to say, because I've known Chelsea for quite a while, I wish that I'd known her when I was perimenopausal and menopausal. It would have been a whole different story. So welcome, Chelsea, and I'm absolutely delighted that you agreed to come on the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm absolutely delighted you asked me to be on the podcast.
Thank you. So, what's your core message for our listeners?
So, on our theme of social media, when we're constantly creating content, chasing engagement, looking at analytics, comparing ourselves to others, that drives our stress hormones and that disrupts our hormonal balance. And when we've got an imbalance, we can't really connect to ourselves. We don't feel calm. We don't feel confident. And so that creates a vicious cycle where we then push harder, speak louder, create more, do more, be more. And that further drives that loss of connection from the self and from our authentic message. And I really feel that what we need is space for quiet pause, to align to our true voice and to lead from within.
That's beautiful. And I couldn't agree more. It's really listening to ourselves. And we get trained out of that as children, don't we?
Very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know a little bit about this, but I'd love to hear more about how you learned that, how you learned to connect with yourself and knowing what was right for you and not right for you. How did you learn and realize that you don't have to be a social media queen?
So I embraced Instagram from the beginning and I loved it. But during COVID, when we saw a lot more businesses come online, the online space for me just started to feel very, very toxic and divisive and not a nice place to be. And so I really started having thoughts probably in about 2020 to come offline. But everyone kept sort of saying, you have to be online, you have to have online presence. People go online to check you out. So I stuck with it. And it just got noisier and noisier, and you had to shout more and more to be heard. And then it became a place where you had to be really polarizing to make yourself stand out. And I'm first and foremost a homeopath, and from day one of homeopathic school, you're taught to be the unprejudiced observer, and that was really easy for me because that's always been my approach to life. So the whole, being polarizing online, it just never sat well with me.
And lots of people do that for effect, don't they, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they doubt about all the people that don't agree with them and how they're wrong.
Yeah.
And on it goes. And that just didn't sit right with me. And also I started thinking about how everything's energy. And if I'm putting out content that I'm really hating doing, what is the reader picking up when they read, when they're engaging with my content? And so it was really from that place that every fiber of my being started screaming at me to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And I met a very wise woman called Sharon and had a few talks with her. And yeah. Yeah, and I just decided that was that. I was done. I was coming off social media. And I'm very pleased to say that it felt like a weight being lifted off my shoulders
Mm.
and it hasn't impacted my bottom line at all. In fact, I'm busier than ever.
Isn't that amazing? When
Mm,
you do what's right for you, your
yeah.
business can only flourish. And if you're listening and you don't even have a business, because some of you won't, whatever you do will flourish so much more if you listen to what's right for you. Brilliant. So, Chelsea,
Hmm.
I know that you've got three delicious tips for our listeners. So, are you ready to go with them?
Yeah, sure. So the tips around, if you are online and or doing social media, how do you lead from within? Um, and the first one would be to find what works for you, what you enjoy, and do what you can. So if you are on social media and you can only manage one post a week, that's good enough. I still have a YouTube channel, though I'm having a little break from it. And the expert advice is to post once a week. But I find that posting once a fortnight works really well for me. So it is a case of just finding what you like and what feels right for you and doing that and sticking to it.
Mm.
Um,
What I mean, you've been through it.
mm,
So when you were on, oh, I didn't know, because we all network and we listen to talks and
yeah.
everything. And when you were back in your phase of thinking, well, because we all do it, I've done it. Oh my God, the amounts of money I've wasted
Mhm.
on courses that taught me that what they were teaching me wasn't right for me. So we all do it. But when you heard people saying, well, if you want to get noticed, you have to do XYZ 90 times. How did you feel when they were saying that to you?
Initially, I was fully on board because my background is my degree was in international business. I love
Mm.
strategy. That was my background. And it all made sense to me. I could see what they were saying and how it was going to work. And I'd get really excited by it. And and I was the best student in all the programs. I did everything I
Oh,
was told.
bless you.
And, and then I would burn out. And then I'd
Ah,
start again in a new program, and then I'd burn out, and I kept going through this cycle. And then it got to the point where I was like, "Hang on, something's not working here."
absolutely not. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you don't listen, I always say, if you don't listen to the universe offering you a lesson, it,
Hmm.
it just goes away and comes back again.
Yeah.
And it keeps on coming back again until it knocks your bloody door down. So, did you reach that point?
I did. I did. I almost burnt down the bridges of my business, and
Oh,
yeah, it was yeah, yeah. The universe will keep sending you what you need to know until you learn it.
absolutely. That's great. So, that's a great first tip.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
My next one is it's okay to disagree with the experts. Um, so once upon a time, I was on one of these free business webinars, the ones where they give you loads of value up front and then they sell a high ticket program on the end.
Yeah.
And the coach was doing everything you're supposed to do, giving the perfect pitch with all the stories and the analogies. And one of the analogies that they gave was of Roger Bannister breaking the 4 minute mile.
Mm.
And I thought this was curious because I'd heard this about 4 or 5 times in that period of time, just in different contexts. And I didn't buy the program, but afterwards the coach messaged me to ask what I thought. And I said I thought it was really interesting and I really appreciated the Roger Bannister story because my father-in-law was a sub 4 minute miler.
Wow.
And I wish I could remember his response. I can't remember it, but it was so flippant. It was so dismissive. And I thought to myself, you have no idea what it means to run a sub 4 minute mile. And I realized this was just the most popular analogy being used in business coaching circles at that time. And it really stuck with me because I thought, off the back of that, I realized no one knows your business, your clients, your industry, your circumstances, your time availability, all those things, but you.
Yes.
So, the coaches, the business experts, and there's some wonderful people out there. I'm not dismissing those skills,
Sure.
but they can offer you all the tools and frameworks and ideas, but you don't have to follow it all. It's better to kind of feel what resonates with you, listen and feel what resonates with you, take that and leave everything else. So it's absolutely okay to go, yep, no thanks, that doesn't work for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's a curious coincidence here because when I was 16, very long story, won't go into it, but I worked for Plessey, which was a big electronics firm back in the day. It no longer exists. And Roger Bannister was one of the salesmen
Oh, really?
in my department's team.
Oh, I just got chills down my spine. How
Yeah,
fascinating.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I guess that coach was kind of peddling, well, you tell me, what was the metaphor? What was the coach saying about, if Roger Bannister could run the 4 minute mile?
I think it was along the lines of no one believed that anyone could run the 4 minute mile. So once Roger Bannister did it,
Ah,
other people did it. And because this method worked for me, therefore it can work for you. It was
ah,
along those lines. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Great. Yes, it does get trotted out. Not
Yes.
so much these days, but yes. So, what's your third tip?
My third tip might be controversial, might make marketers curl their toes, but it's that it's okay to take a break from visibility. So sometimes we just need to rest and we need to take a break. And I would argue that it's okay. And more than it being okay, it actually can inspire creativity. So I'd say it's actually really important for your business to take a break and allow that space for free thinking. As I said, being switched on all the time, it just creates stress in the body and it creates disconnection from ourselves and from the messages within the body. The body is always communicating with us. And if we want to recognize whether something resonates with us, like I was talking in the previous point, then we need to be quiet. We need to create that space. And we can't do that when we're just constantly putting ourselves out there. So
Hmm.
I'd say my third tip is it's okay to take a break from being visible.
It's such a great tip. And again, a major coincidence because I think today was the first day, no, maybe it was yesterday, uh, but nevertheless, I've only just started posting again after a 2 week break.
Mm,
For,
yeah.
for a similar reason, I had a couple of lurgies. I have builders that have moved in now to renovate my bathroom, and and part of me went, God, I must post, and another part went, give yourself a break,
Yeah.
right? People are
Yeah.
still going to be there when you come back.
Mm,
And this is true, I think, for people who aren't in business as well, who
mm,
are doing it socially. It's a
mm,
kind of addiction. You think, oh my God, if I don't post, like
mm,
it's the end of the world. But it's
mm.
not,
No,
is it?
no. And what I've found is a lot of the stuff I'm doing now is in life stuff. So going to meetings, meeting people, forming connections. I may go online and look at my stuff and engage with it. They're not looking at the dates of when it posted. If it's answering a question that they're looking for, it's still relevant to them. You've still got that presence there. So yeah, like you say, nothing bad's going to happen by taking a break.
No. The world doesn't come to an end, but you could if you don't take enough breaks. Just as you were mentioning,
Yeah,
burnout is a horrible, horrible place to be.
absolutely.
So that's brilliant. So let me get it straight. What I'm hearing, your absolute core message at the minimum is what we really need is space for quiet pause to align with our true voice and lead from within by listening to what our body's telling us. And am I right in saying that that can be through sensations, it can be through being ill, it can be doing your back in, it could be getting cold after cold, or it could just be feeling a bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that gut feeling that
Right.
people
What?
talk about,
Tell me what gut feeling.
Yeah, sometimes
Uh,
you just feel in your gut like that doesn't feel right.
abs-
Or or like you say, like getting sick all the time. Your body's trying to get you to slow down and rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, not being a social media queen is really important for your well-being.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
So, thanks a lot. They're great tips. Is there any offer you'd like to promote to our listeners, Chelsea?
Not an offer as such, but if you're looking to talk to someone about the state of your hormones and balancing your hormones naturally, I have a free discovery call, which you can book on my website. I love to chat all things hormones. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So book that free discovery call, people. Again, I've known Chelsea a while and she's an absolute whiz. So how can people connect with you?
Yeah, so my website is chelseagreen.uk and I am on YouTube, as I said, and on YouTube I'm known as Chelsea Green Holistic Hormones.
Excellent. Thank you, Chelsea. So big thanks for being here and sharing your experience and your wisdom. And everyone, I'd also love you to subscribe to my Wild Elder Weekly for all my insider podcast information and about Wild Women Meditate, which I still haven't told you about, and I must. And anyway, you get loads more, including a no bullshit chapter from my Amazon #1 bestseller, Rediscovered. And you can sign up at thewildelder.com. And thank you so much for listening. It wouldn't be the same without you at all. And we're passionate, all my guests, Chelsea and I, are passionate about you getting seen and heard and being unforgettable because, woman, that is your birthright. You are magnificent, even if you don't think you are. And my heart's going all scrunchy because women are so wonderful and we have so much to offer the world, whatever year it is. So, watch out for the next exciting episode of Getting a
Getting a
Bigger
Bigger
Goal
Goal
On.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.